I want to talk about a conversation that I was having with someone the other day. And it had to do, I'm not going to get into the details of what it was about, but I'll give you an idea as to what was transpiring. So I was having a conversation with someone about just things that happened in the past, right? And how this person or people can sometimes hold on to things and not really let them go, and they affect them negatively at certain points in time, right? It's not all the time. It's just whenever it surfaces, it may affect you. Now, in having this conversation, it was really affecting this person very deeply, and I just kind of was just listening and just allowing the room to vent, allowing the room to breathe and just let out whatever it is that the person needed to let out. And in this conversation, they also were able to tell me about a time that things were amazing. And it was a stretch of time that things were amazing. It was a stretch of time that, their life was being improved upon for a stretch of time. Now, I'm not talking about, 2 months. It was a few years stretch of time that their life was going through these improvements to the point of where they are now, and they were just venting out all these bad things that happened to them for the duration of their life, up until this duration of time where things just started to improve, and just now it's a consistent portion of their life. And in this conversation, all I was able to really gather was that we do so much holding on to old baggage. We do so much revisiting the past. We do so much pretending that, and I don't really want to use the word pretending, but we kind of do a little bit. We do kind of pretend that certain things in the past do make us who we are and why we can't improve, right? That we don't even notice when the things started to improve. We don't even take the time to realize that this duration of time where things started to get really, really good, where things really started to improve, that trumped everything it is that went on in the past that wasn't great, that made us miserable, that made us unhappy. You forget that you had this window. You go back so far into the past that you forget that you had this window of just beauty and positivity and things that just made your life amazing. And now your life is continuously becoming more amazing once these changes took place, that that time took away from you. That time, you visiting that time is taking away from that moment right now. And it just made me realize that how often do we do that? How much baggage do we have that we take away the moment of right now? Even in that moment, I started to realize that my duty at that time, that moment, was to give that person a platform to speak, to give that person a platform to vent, to let them know that in this case, I might be a little bit of the hero, right? But, trust me, I'm not always, right? I need advice just as much as anyone else. I might sit here and talk about a lot of things about being positive and things like that, but I promise you, I fall short plenty of times. I do need advice. I do need to sometimes be talked down from the ledge. I do need sometimes to get my fires to be put out, because I'm human like anybody else. But in this instance, right, it allowed me to really sit in the moment and listen and give the person a platform and understand that my moment, me listening and being there at that moment and just enjoying that moment and allowing the person to speak, to tell me whatever it is that they had on their mind, to tell me whatever it is that was holding on to them. But again, in being in that moment and just listening, I was able to advise them and tell them that all I heard throughout that whole conversation was that your life is amazing right now. And you're worrying more about the past than how incredible your life is right now. How incredible all the movements, all the things that you say, all the actions, right, are impacting you in a way that is just nothing but beauty. And it was fascinating because I really started to pay attention to the moment I was in. And in me being in my moment, to be able to listen to what was going on and give that piece of advice was showing me that a lot of us sometimes don't pay attention to the moments that we're in regularly. And I'm sure, I don't know that everybody has, but there is this I'm not going to go into the saying, but I'll give you a kind of an idea. There's a bunch of people in a coffee shop, and you could be one of the people in the coffee shop. And every single one of those people might be in the same place, but every single one of those people's reality is very different. They're all experiencing life very differently from you. And if you take the time, you don't even have to speak to anyone. Just take the time to just look around you and, I don't know, just play a game, right? Just take a look around you and look at the people and just kind of think to yourself, what kind of reality is that person in currently? You know, you might have somebody with headphones on at their computer, right? Or they're just sitting with their partner, you know, having a cup of coffee, you know, as a date. But just think to yourself, you know, what kind of moments are they having? Are they really in that moment? Are they sitting on their phone? Are they engulfed in their work on the tablet or laptop or whatever they got going on? And then think to yourself, am I enjoying this moment myself at this point in time? And it was just very, very fascinating to me. I mean, I'm giving you that as a project. Like, try that just to see what comes to mind, right? But it really dawned on me that we hold on to a lot of baggage that we really don't allow ourselves to let go of, to really enjoy the moment that we're in, to really embrace the greatness that we have in us to just be more than the past, right? Waking up in the past, like I've heard that too. Like waking up in the past is really detrimental to you. You know, when you wake up and think about what happened yesterday or 5 years ago, right? That's hurting your right now. You know, I say this, you know, a lot more often than I care to, but it's almost a reminder. You have to train your brain to really be in the moment. You really got to train yourself to be in the right now, because that was very eye-opening for me. As much as I was able to just, again, become the person that I feel like I gave quality advice at that moment, right? It did give me the opportunity to see how much I myself do that, because I do that as often as most people, as any other person, you know. And it also made me realize how often that I'm not living in the moment as I should. Anyway, that's all I got. Do what you do it well, do it the best way you know how. Jay Cotto, I'm out. Peace.